Now, although WordPress is an effective system to use to build pretty much any kind of website you want, there are quite a few things that you can do to improve its performance. Because unfortunately, a lot of stuff that you want to add isn't going to be automatic. And if you really want to score well for mobile devices or even desktops, you got to put in a little bit of effort. I'm Michael with WriterSanctuary, and today I want to go over 9 easy to use tips to improve WordPress site speed. Now there's really a lot of things that you can do to improve the speed of WordPress, but today I'm going to cover some of the most easiest that you can implement right now. Select the right web host. Unfortunately, not all web hosts are designed the same. Some are just a lot better than others. Personally, I use GreenGeeks, and I found that by moving my websites over, my speed has improved by 3 times. Not to mention the fact that I spend a lot less money this time around. Before I spent like $180 a year, now it's way less. But it's always good to find yourself a proper web host. Number 2 is to select the proper theme for your website. Because like web hosts, not every theme is developed the same. Some themes are just designed to be far faster, especially if you decide to go with a minimalist approach. So what you can do is look up some themes that you want to use, find one that you like, and then install it and try it out. Personally, I prefer to use a testing website for this purpose, just so that I can decide if a theme is actually faster than the old one I'm using. So what you can do is, once you install your theme, go to sites like PageSpeed Insights or GTmetrix and test your site for performance to see if your theme actually made a difference. Number 3 is install optimization plugins. Now there's a lot of plugins that are available that will speed up WordPress. Personally, I like using tools like Autoptimize. In fact, Autoptimize is what helped me get rid of the CLS problem that was in Search Console. CLS is cumulative layout shift, and Autoptimize wiped it out completely. And if you notice that you have a CLS problem in Search Console or PageSpeed Insights or GTmetrix, I'll leave a link to the article I wrote in the description down below of how I fixed that. Number 4 is to make sure you're using optimized images. There's a lot of plugins for WordPress that'll help you optimize images, such as ShortPixel, but the free version only covers so much, and if you have a lot of content, a lot of images on your website, you're going to wind up paying a bit more. Personally, I like to use Photoshop. In fact, when you save a JPEG in Photoshop, you have 2 different options. You can go with maximum or high quality. And if you stick with the high quality images, you're going to cut down the size dramatically. For instance, in this sample, my high quality image is only 192 kilobytes, while the maximum quality is 473. So just by knocking down the quality just a hair, made a big difference in the size of the file. And as you can see, there's really not much of a difference between the two when you set them side by side. Needless to say, there's a lot of different ways that you can optimize your images. I'll probably dive into a few of them in a future video. Number 5 is limit the ad serving networks. Ad serving networks, like AdSense, will impact your site's performance. This is because all of this information is being pulled from a third-party server. So not only is somebody accessing your website, but then they have to wait for Google to send the AdSense information to your own. In fact, every ad network does this. Now there's a few tools that you can try that'll cut down quite a bit on the performance issue of it, but you don't really want to load your site up with a bunch of ads anyway to make it look like the coupon section of a newspaper. My point is that ad serving networks are third party and it will affect your performance. So you can use them, just don't go nuts with it. Number 6 is to limit the third party banner sites from affiliates. This is a lot like with AdSense, where it pulls information from a third party. In fact, when you get onto your affiliate marketing site and you go for pulling a banner, you'll notice that the image source is not your own. So now you have to wait for your affiliate to send the banner image to your website. And not everybody puts in the same amount of effort into their servers as Google does. So it is possible to use affiliate banners that are way slower than AdSense. Now, affiliate links are okay because that's just hyperlink. Hyperlinks don't really affect your performance. So even if you use something like Buy Me a Coffee's button that you can copy and paste from their website, it will affect your WordPress site performance. Number 7 is to consider using a CDN, or Content Delivery Network. Now what a Content Delivery Network does is that essentially it takes copies of your entire website and scatters them throughout servers around the world. So if your web host has a server in Houston, Texas, and somebody in Ireland trying to access your website, and the CDN has a server there in the UK, then the visitor from Ireland will hit your UK copy and not have to worry about Houston, Texas. Essentially, a CDN removes distance as a factor for website speed. And if you don't have the money to pay for a CDN, a lot of them do have a free service that you can try out. Bottom line is that you can find CDNs all over the place. It's probably worthwhile to at least try the free ones just to see if it's anything that's going to be worthwhile. Number 8 is to limit the amount of plugins that you install on your website. Now that's one of the cool things that makes WordPress so awesome, is being able to install plugins to create pretty much any website you want. Unfortunately, a lot of these plugins will impact your performance. For example, I used to have the Instagram embed on WriterSanctuary.com's website where you can see my most recent pictures. Unfortunately, it meant it was pulling those pictures from Instagram, which was slowing my site down tremendously. So sometimes you just have to find something that you can live without. And if you use GTmetrix, you can get a breakdown of all the different plugins that you have on your site and everything that impacts its performance. As you can see from this one, I've got quite a bit installed. And eventually I'll go through and start picking out the ones I don't want or can live without. But for now, I kind of need the ones that are there. So that's the hardest part, is trying to find balance when you have all these really neat things that people are expecting, but you don't have the performance to justify it. So it's all about trying to find that balance. And number 9 is consider using the AMP plugin that's in WordPress. Now AMP is Accelerated Mobile Pages. This is a project that was developed specifically for helping people connect with mobile device users. And as you can see from Page Speed Insights and GTmetrix, Google puts a lot of emphasis on making sure your website works great on a smartphone. Now what AMP does is that it streamlines your website specifically for those devices. In fact, I did an experiment recently on 2 of my blogs using the AMP plugin, and I'll leave that in the description down below. But the gist of that is that as soon as I installed the plugin, the score in PageSpeed Insights jumped up by 37 points just from installing the plugin. I didn't make any other adjustments, I just installed AMP, that was it. And then you can fine tune it to increase your score even more. So there you have it, that's 9 easy ways that you can do right now to improve the speed of WordPress. Aside from finding a better web host, a lot of these will take you less than 5 minutes to implement. The hardest part is going through and streamlining what plugins you have and which ones you can live without. Like I had to remove the Instagram plugin from WriterSanctuary because it was taking too much time to load images from Instagram to the website, and it was impacting my speed something fierce. So I had to remove that, and once I did, my score went up a lot. So that's why I use tools like GTmetrix to go through and find just what you can keep and what you can get rid of. So what are some methods that you implement on your website to improve WordPress site speed? Like I said, I use Optimize. I have everything running as lazy images. I got the CDN added. There's still a few nuts that I have to tighten, but aside from that, everything's coming up pretty good. But there's always ways that you can improve. So if you find the video informative, hit that like button. For more videos about WordPress, freelance writing, blogging, text broker, or anything else I cover, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thanks for going to do it for me today, and I'll see you next time.